Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of Congress. This is your Congressman Koenig from the great state of Arizona speaking. Um, Today, I would like to speak about S-131, which is my committee, Judiciary Committee's bill that we decided to put out. Um, we call it the Criminal Code Reform Act, and essentially, this is an omnibus bill that we all put together and decided through bipartisan effort that we would like to make some changes within the prison system itself during, before, and after inmates get out. So this is going to be a comprehensive kind of bill in which we address things that put certain people in prison that don't deserve to be there, such as marijuana, possession charges of marijuana. And then we're also going to discuss how people, once they're in prison, are exploited, and how the emphasis of prison reform, I believe, should be on rehabilitation. Should not be punitive. It should be rehabilitation. And because of that, I think that we should stop exploiting our prisoners in the way that we have been doing. Also, private prisons. I know this is kind of a hot topic issue, especially because I am a Republican and my constituents obviously would like private business to flourish, but I just think something like a private prison is not something that should be for profit, especially when it comes to, like I said, rehabilitating those who are in our prison system. I believe it should be the same criteria across all public prisons, and it's much easier and more efficient to do that way if there is the government running them and not all these private prisons popping up trying to run things separately. So, the first section of the entire bill itself is talking about taxing these certain private prisons, taxing them 1 to 5%. And I guess like the idea is to slowly phase them out. You want them to be no longer necessary because public prisons will be the only option. So we're wanting to get rid of them by the year 2021. Obviously, that is subject to change, but that's the goal. And from there, while we are ramping down the private prisons, the public prisons will be ramped up, and we will be revamping them in any way possible, putting funds in order to create better prisons themselves and just make them a better institution overall. And that's where we go to Section 2 of the bill, which has to deal with prison labor. Prison labor is free at the moment. I don't believe that prison labor should be free to the point that we are exploiting these prisoners. They are in there to be rehabilitated and heal, and who's to say that this work may or may not help them with that, but I think the emphasis should be on rehabilitative and not punitive measures, and definitely not free work, because when you put a prisoner to work for free like that, they're making no income in prison, which makes it more difficult for them to adjust once they reach the outside world, and therefore increases their chances of going back into the prison system again. So once again, we're failing in our job of rehabilitating these prisoners. And on the third section, of course, legalizing marijuana. We've been talking about this for years and years and years. It's happened in Colorado, happened in California, happened in Washington. It's going to keep happening. Why not just make it legal federally? This is ridiculous. People are going to jail for this still, and they do not deserve it. And I'm especially adamant about this part of the bill because I wrote it myself. So, in the words of Bob Marley, herb is the healing of a nation. Thank you. I yield my time.